Greetings. This is Astrologer Pam Younghans, and here is my North Point Astrology Journal, your guide to planetary energies for the week of November 25th to December 1st, 2024. We are now in the first days of the solar month of Sagittarius, the sign of the philosopher, the free spirit, seeker, the traveler, and the humorist. During this 4-week period, we are encouraged to roam far afield, either physically or mentally, beyond the boundaries of daily routines and set belief systems, into unfamiliar lands and new ideologies. Adventurous Sagittarius finds fulfillment in exploring unknown territories and in any experiences that open the mind to a broader understanding of life and its meanings. These themes are underscored by next weekend's new moon, which occurs when the Sun and Moon align at 9 degrees 32 minutes of Sagittarius. The lunation is exact at 10:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, November 30th, and can inspire us to take new risks in some area of our lives. If you have your natal astrology chart, check to see the house location of 9 degrees 32 minutes of Sagittarius to discover what area of life will be energized. Although a Sagittarian new moon is ideally optimistic and open-minded, this lunation will activate the effects of the ongoing Jupiter-Saturn square. This longer-term aspect tests our ability to cooperate, to be patient, and to rise above the politics, religions, and rigid belief systems that threaten to divide rather than unite us. The Jupiter-Saturn square is in effect from August 2024 through June 2025, and will be exact for the second time on December 24th. Because the Jupiter-Saturn square represents a challenge for humanity, we may unfortunately see manifestations of the shadow side of Sagittarius at the time of next weekend's new moon. On a personal level, the shadow can manifest as righteous indignation, feeling morally superior, being resistant to new ideas or anything that appears foreign, having the need to correct or censor, being cynical, and using belittling humor. The new moon is also tightly conjunct the fixed star Antares, which is similar to warrior Mars in nature. For best outcomes, we must be cautious of acting too rashly or of being too headstrong or willful as we work with the new moon energies. If we are patient and reasonable in our actions, we can tap into the positive qualities associated with Antares: mental alertness, strategic ability, optimism, and courage. Here's what astrologer Roderick Kidston writes about Antares in his book, The Magic of the Stars. Antares is certainly a warrior star, driving, ambitious, and masterful according to old lore. The issue with this star is not ill will, but the way it impels an urge for mastery. When this is directed towards self-mastery, and the personal gifts cultivated as a result, it is very fine. If it stimulates unskillful behaviors and rouses the temptation to dominate or control, there can be problems. As with all the great power stars, Antares asks you to be very self-aware and very mindful of how you treat other people. The golden rule does rule here. But with the reservoirs of strength available to you via Antares, you can afford to be generous and a force for good. Here are my brief interpretations of this week's most important planetary aspects day by day. On Monday, Mercury stations retrograde. Mercury will be moving backward through the sky from November 25th to December 15th. During this 3-week period, it is best to take time with all decisions, making sure not to rush into anything due to deadlines or fears. We can also benefit from observing life symbolically rather than literally. If delays occur or there are communication issues, we can imagine that we dreamed the event and seek to understand what the situation represents from that level. On Tuesday, Venus is quincunx Jupiter. Overconfidence can lead to miscommunications today. Some may promise more than they can deliver. Also on Tuesday, the Sun is trine the North Node. This aspect helps us to be more in tune with our instincts and to take action in accordance with our true needs. On Wednesday, the Sun is trine Mars. We have the courage and self-confidence needed to take on new endeavors with this aspect. Leadership abilities are enhanced. But also on Wednesday, Venus is square Chiron. A need to be in control or a lack of attention to a loved one's emotional state and cause distance in a relationship. On Thursday, Neptune is sextile Ceres. This aspect can help us to accept others as they are and to be compassionate and empathetic in our interactions. There are no major aspects exact on Friday. On Saturday, retrograde Mercury is sesquiquadrate Mars. People can be easily agitated today, especially when things don't go according to plan. There is a tendency to act or speak impulsively. Today is also the day of the new moon. The sun and moon will align at 10:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight, when both luminaries are at 9 degrees 32 minutes of Sagittarius. On Sunday, Saturn is semisquare Ceres. This aspect challenges us to be caring and compassionate with others while also maintaining good emotional boundaries. It requires that we review our sense of obligation, making sure that our self-worth is not dependent on our always being the caregiver or the responsible one. And on Sunday, retrograde Mercury is trine Chiron. This aspect can help us reflect on our own and others' wounds and fears and how they may be the source of dogmatic or judgmental behaviors. If your birthday is this week, you are working with two very different influences this year. On one hand, you may feel highly energized and eager to take risks. Courage and self-confidence come in waves, urging you to act independently and impulsively. However, for best results, it is essential to be patient and responsible, and to be deliberate and thoughtful in your actions. Remember that there is such a thing as proper timing, which doesn't always coincide with the ego's need for immediate gratification. If you are able to balance these influences, you can harness all the energy needed for achieving your long-term goals. This is
We
Astrologer
hope
Pam
that you have
Younghans
enjoyed
wishing
this
you
article.
an insightful
For
week.
over 30
Thank you for being
years,
with me
we
on
at
this
Inner
journey.
Self have sought to encourage new attitudes and new possibilities. For more inspiration, visit us at innerself.com. Thank you. Visit the Inner Self Market for new attitudes and new possibilities. You'll find inspiring books, wonderful music CDs, audiobooks, card decks, candles, jewelry, gifts, all kinds of wonderful things. Visit us at market.innerself.com.